Hi, my name is Emin, and I'm founder and CEO of Murmur. And we're building the future of advertising by bridging outdoor advertising with online.
So you're in the Silicon Valley, or where are you based?
I'm based in Chicago. I was in Silicon Valley, but I came to Chicago. so,
And this is maybe some advertising system that could go on top of Uber and Lyft cars, right? And then the driver can make money, and you are doing some extra stuff in there, right? You are like tracking all the people in the streets and giving them personalized advertising. Is that correct?
yeah, exactly. So, we're working with Uber, Lyft, or any other gig economy drivers. So, by putting our digital smart billboards on top of their cars and paying them for advertising. And our billboard is unique because we have embedded cameras. So, just giving you example. For example, you're a coffee shop owner and you want to advertise and target people who is drinking Starbucks. Our cars will drive, and as soon as we will see people with Starbucks cup, so your advertising campaign will launch. By
Maybe you
doing
can screen share you have a presentation, right? You have a slideshow. You can show your slideshow.
yeah, exactly. So let
Let's load it up
me.
right here.
So I believe that you can see it, right?
Yeah, there it is.
So and I'm so excited and very proud what I'm building, and we're the only and first company who took this approach and implemented artificial intelligence, machine learning, just to advance your outdoor advertising campaigns and
But
make it more
there's
efficient.
like millions of people in the city, like Chicago, for example, right? How do you track? Is it using like Bluetooth or something like that, or like are you tracking all the smartphones people have in their pockets,
Yeah,
or what's happening?
exactly. We're tracking. So basically, how that technology works. So our car's driving, and you look at our ad. So cameras capturing, computer vision is capturing your face. So we can identify your gender, your age, approximate age, and as soon as you look at our ad, so we send you customized proprietary developed Wi-Fi signals with payloads. So we send to your phone and your phone is responding back. So in that way, we can get enough information just to pair that with third-party data aggregators and get your all information like first name, last name, email address, your social media profiles. And
But
first,
how are you going to be able to? You talk about face tracking, like what's it called face recognition. Is it part of it? But how do you? Is it because does this only work if you partner with Google or Facebook because they know everybody, or how do you know everybody?
everybody, you have third-party data aggregators. So they buying your information from telco companies, from games which you installed in your phone from Google, from Facebook. So they have already that database. And what we need just to give them some couple of parameters to find you.
So it would be like an advertiser like Starbucks or like a big company that already is tracking millions of people, or
Yep.
it
So
needs to be
basically,
like a bigger kind of advertiser, or not necessarily.
not necessarily. So because currently we have two customers, and both of them it's 5 or 10 employee insurance and real estate agency, and we're helping them to get more leads. So basically, as an advertiser, you need to identify whom you want to target. So we just need to know, or if you have your current list of audience, like emails or first name, last name, so you can upload it to our platform, and we can create lookalike audience.
Maybe you can show a little bit the slides you have there. Maybe you can click on the little hide button, and then
Yeah,
you explaining a little bit. This is the team you were showing just before. You're the
yeah,
CEO founder.
yeah. So I'm CEO and founder, and CEO and CTO slash CTO. and have experience working with telco companies and software development. And my co-founder is my beloved wife, whom we founded this company. And she has humongous experience in advertising, marketing, sales.
What's your background?
So my background, I graduated applied mathematics and economics cybernetics. So basically I was building, modeling some environments for trading companies like Bloomberg or Porsche, giving them risk analysis. And after that, I switched to Cisco, started developing intelligence softwares, and basically I was first 10 employees in Cisco Europe who was developing digital signage solution for them.
Where in Europe?
Oh, in Europe, I worked in England, in Ukraine, in Poland, in Azerbaijan, and originally I'm from Azerbaijan, who
Like in-
migrated.
Like in Kiev, you were in Ukraine, or
Yeah, Kiev, yeah.
with the working with a bunch of very talented software engineers over there, or
Yeah, in Kiev, I was working with super smart people, talented developers. Kiev, Moscow, in UK also was.
so where do you think there are smarter software engineers? Is it is my video still going, or am I image still?
It's just image.
It's just an image. I'll try to switch. No problem. Are there better software engineers in the Silicon Valley or in Ukraine?
It depends what you're looking for, and in my experience, so it depends on your as a CEO founder. What's your approach?
So let's see your slide. Let's continue to see more about your presentation.
So basically, what we do, we partner with rideshare drivers or gig economy drivers and pay them just to advertise on their cars by putting smart car top billboards. And for the brands or businesses, we give them real-time data, campaign measurements, attribution, and that data they can use for retargeting purposes. For example, we're showing your ad outdoor on street, and you can create dynamically Facebook or Google ads. So basically your audience will see your ad once they're walking down the street. They go to Facebook, they see your ad. They go to Google, they see your ad. Because in marketing you have this de facto rule saying that in order for the person to become your customer or buy your service or product, he needs to see you 7 times. And what
so it's like remarketing kind of thing. That's like where the sales happen.
Yeah, exactly. That happens. And we also took, right now it's not such hype, but I believe that it's going to be the mass industry, behavior marketing. Based on your behavior, we can approach you and advertise you the products or service which you need.
Can you give a little bit more background into how did you go from all these countries around Europe and you went to the US? You went there to study, or?
That was good story. So basically, once I was in Europe, so I founded EdTech. So company, we were teaching some development, Cisco, Microsoft networking to the students. And I grew it to 3 countries, especially in Turkey, in Georgia. And once we were talking to friends and they say, we kind of reached our limit and we want to change the world. And how can we do it? The only option was America. Go to America and try your energy and power, see how it will work. Basically, I said, okay, I'm leaving everything and will go to States just to challenge myself. Will I achieve something or not?
Did you go to the university in US or just directly to job?
No, so I came to the States and I applied to MIT and got accepted, but I dropped it. I didn't like the fact that I need to pay for my education.
Yeah, in Europe, education is free.
Yeah,
Also, Azerbaijan, and is it free education for people university or no?
yeah, it's a free, and I actually I was getting stipend, so they were paying me. Government was paying me.
Yeah, in Denmark also, all the students get thousands of dollars every month. They just get them, they like free education plus $1,000, like just buy food. You know, like
Yeah, the same was, and I found that hey, MIT at point they say that my tuition will be around as an international student 160,000.
160,000
Yeah,
every year.
every year, and
That's like
also
3 Teslas.
exactly that's a crazy, right? So also I started counting that okay, I need to live somewhere, and I know that I wouldn't be able to work, so it will cost me around 200 grand a year. Just damn it, I'm not doing it.
So
uh,
it's but I guess there's a little bit more expensive for foreign students than American
yeah,
students.
it's very expensive because you don't get scholarship, and I didn't apply even as an international student. I didn't apply for scholarship and for the government grants because I wasn't eligible for that.
Can't you just run around do the American football? That's something. No, I'm joking. That's not funny.
No, no. So actually, because I got my master degree in Azerbaijan, then in London, and once I came to state, it was kind of awkward, because my language was British English, and some words I couldn't understand. That was so funny. I will tell you a story that I was asking for the restroom. I was leasing apartment and was saying that, hey, do you have restaurant? And he was saying, yeah, all of our apartments, they have restaurant. I said, but it's a studio. And are you sure that you have restroom? So that time I didn't know that it's a bathroom or it's a toilet. So, that's tough.
Are you in Boston?
No. So in Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's a strong accent or something over there, right? The Chicago, I don't know how it sounds like. Yeah.
It's in Chicago. You have a lot of immigrants, and it's a huge immigrant communities. And also, it was my dream to see 5 great American lakes.
Did you see all 5?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was my dream, and I was reading a lot of mind read about Native Americans, how American society grew and settled, and that was my dream. Basically, I just realized it.
So how long time ago was this?
It was 5 years ago.
And so you've been working for tech companies since, or?
So the story is that I dropped MIT and I found myself without any money. And I had only $500 in my pocket, and rent was around $1,500. And no one was renting me apartment. And I slept 2 weeks in McDonald's, and that's the reason why I love McDonald's.
Oh my God.
I was taking baths in McDonald's, so
Oh la la.
no.
That was 5 years ago?
Yeah, that was 5 years ago, and kind of that challenge I wanted to feel, just to make my vision wide and envision what I want to succeed in my life. It just changed whole my entire life, which is I'm thankful for that.
But what happened between that McDonald's and your startup? Is a start like what were you doing the last 5?
So I ended up finding a job in a tech company. It was local marketing. So I guess that it's a SaaS marketing company they were doing for publishers. So if you're a journal or magazine, they will provide you all tools just to support you. And I was working as a network system and DevOps engineer.
And so how old is the startup that you, Murmur?
Murmur is only months and a half years old.
It's brand new. So this is the world exclusive.
Exactly. And that came up as an entire tool for my first startup, which we were struggling because we brought some new business model to American society, and most of people, they couldn't understand that you can bargain or negotiate the cost, because in America you don't have such option. They just give you price and charge you hourly. But what we did, saying that, hey, we bringing your model where you can tell us your budget, and we will supply you with help and truck to load and deliver your stuff.
Deliver. Is this delivery or is
It
it
was
Uber kind of like
it's Uber for movers.
Uber for movers?
Yeah.
But Murmur is just an advertising platform, right? It goes on any of these ride sharing and delivery cars and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Murmur goes to any company or rideshare driver, so they can register with us if they're eligible, and we will schedule appointment and we'll install those displays on.
Maybe we can see the next slides, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You talk about.
So basically how it works, because for Uber and Lyft drivers, they just draining money, right? You have gas, insurance, all that stuff, and for them it's extra money. They just drive, advertise with us, and monthly they will get $500 extra. And we developed application just to incentivize them to drive more hours and drive in areas with the population density is highly dense areas. So they have mobile apps, and we show them, hey, we have you can get extra $50 if you will drive to that area. So in this way we incentivize them. And since we're still in beta, and we just announced to Uber and Lyft community on Facebook groups and got 20,000 registered drivers. They just knocking, they calling, saying, hey, I want to work with you guys. I want to make extra money.
So there's already a bunch of what's it called? Sharing advertising systems out there, right? But you're trying to provide targeted advertising, and that means better value advertising and more money for the driver. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, what we're doing, it's unique. So other competitors, they just use the value proposition is that we put digital displays on rideshare drivers. But our value proposition is saying that we put to make more money and help brands to get more targeted outdoor advertising and capture data which they can use for further digital ads. Because right now we're the only one who can get such data, which is super valuable for the advertisers. Because currently industry works like, so they did survey 5 or 10 years ago, and they know that, okay, so in this area, foot traffic is 1 million people, but you as an advertiser, you pay for that, and you don't know, will those million people exactly see your ad? Will they look at? So what's the gender? What's the age? It's all approximate. And industry accuracy is around 40 or 50%, while we came in and saying, hey, we can provide you with better data and attribution, and we charge you only per impression, which only that time when person looked at your ad. So with us, brands can also save advertising money. It's not like they just have budgets they pay to Billboard company monthly basis, and they're hoping that 1 million people will see it.
So can you show more on the slides to explain? So this is this real, or is this a mock-up of what it would look like, the dashboard?
So it's our MVP. It's our MVP, which we're running with some customers.
What does it mean, MVP?
So a minimal viable product. It doesn't have whole features. It has only core features, just to show our advertisers the power of Murmur and why they want to use and why they need to use Murmur. So as you see, we show them how many cars are on roads and where they're driving and what people they're targeting, and all that stuff. As you see, it gives you a dashboard. So how many people we reached and engagement and how we're measuring engagement. So based on computer vision, how many people looked and did some action. As you see, so we have here Pixel. And why we develop Pixel? So Pixel you can install on your website, and we can compare data which we captured from the user and Pixel. If they're the same, so we can measure your conversion rate. Let's say that you advertising on roads, and as a viewer, I looked at your ad. The same time, Murmur will capture your device information. So we will put some tag on your device. And let's say that you went to the website after 15 or 30 minutes. So we will compare data and device ID, which we captured from outdoor advertising and from our Pixel. If it's the same, so it means that you converted after seeing outdoor advertising.
What do you mean about the pixel? Is that what all these ad people, they are like tracking ads with pixels? And that's, as far as I remember, that's the stuff you put in like websites to see that somebody visited the website. But what do you mean about pixel when you actually tracking, you're putting pixels in all the cars?
No, so Pixel, I mean that you can put, as an advertiser, you can put it in your website just to measure your conversion rate out of outdoor advertising. So just to see how many people converted after seeing your outdoor ad.
And these little icons, so that means there's a tracking happening?
Yeah.
Real-time tracking of all the cars?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what they are. They could be Lyft driver, Uber driver, pizza delivery, whatever.
It can be anybody, so any car. So we're showing you tracking in real time.
And it shows there the cost, how many impressions, because you see the impressions with your camera. You see how many people looked at the ad.
Yeah, we see through our cameras, we can see how many people looked at, what's the duration, how many minutes or seconds they looked at ad. And also total engagement is basically what they did. Did they go to your website or not?
Do you send a picture to the customer? They can see which customer was interested so they can try to find them? How does this work?
We don't do it because all information which we capture, it's all hashed because of privacy issues, and even we don't see it. But our algorithm is smart enough just to, based on hashing, just to identify. But basically how it works, so once we're sending, we capture that information and we send it to third-party data aggregators saying that, hey, find me that person based on those parameters. We gave them device information, mobile advertiser ID, and that data aggregator is able to find it.
Maybe can you show some more on your slides to try to explain some more?
Yes,
so it's pretty good to get $500 extra, right? I don't know, in Chicago, a Lyft driver, Uber driver is making what? How much profit? Because they have to pay for the car. That's like a big expense for many of them.
Yeah,
and they make it like $1,500, $2,000 per month if they work a lot, or.
In average, Uber or Lyft drivers are making $2,000 or $2,500 a month in average. If you're not
after paying for the car, after paying the fees and gas.
No,
and everything.
with that.
So they have to subtract the car payments, insurance, the gas,
all that stuff,
cleaning of puke. I mean, I'm joking, but all these expenses.
Sometimes you have to clean, and especially to understand how it works. I was doing DoorDash, Uber, just to understand how that works. So if you're working 8 hours a day, and so I was making around 2,000 without not excluding gas, my car expenses, all that stuff. And I saw that, okay, so extra $500 will
So
never hurt you.
that's like 25% higher salary or something like that. 20 is boosting it's important potential income for all the drivers.
Yep, and you're not doing anything. You're just driving. You just do your daily job. You're driving Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, and on top of that, you advertise and you're making money.
How about right now, these systems that are out there, how much money do they make with those? Because there are some systems that are doing this kind of stuff, but I don't know how they're not targeted, right?
They're not targeted, and there's a lot of companies who is trying to do, and they're putting on taxi, on cab drivers, so they pay them $100 a month.
Only 100.
Yeah, $100 a month. Or one of our competitors, they pay drivers $300.
So you are nearly doubling the income for these guys.
With doubling income, and also we have one super feature. Let's say that you want to advertise whiskey, right? Whiskey, and you know that most people will drink whiskey once they're going to pub or nightclub, right? So you can create campaign. We call it Super Murmur ad, that you can request 10 Murmur cars just to park in front of nightclub or pub and advertise and show your ad whiskey.
What I think could be interesting and maybe funny is that let's say I'm walking around on the street, I see the Uber, and then it says, "Hey, it's 7:32 p.m. You need to drink whiskey," and then there's somebody like waving at me on the ad because they can see that I'm looking, and you like, and I'm looking away, and you see the person is sad, and then coming back, and then is waving again. I don't know, something like that. It's like interactive. Is it possible?
We do it. So
Yeah.
So our advertisers can engage with viewers right in the spot. So we're using artificial intelligence and ML styles that we can identify if person is sad, he's happy, and show him relevant ad. Let's say that if you're sad, we will show you waving emoji, something like that.
If it's a couple, then maybe you don't need to sell Tinder that ad. But if it's a person alone, it's a different ad.
So the system is smart enough to identify, and we're constantly training our machine learning algorithms just to identify situation and people's mood and what the people doing and engage with them. Because right now what we're doing, we're kind of making your ads alive. Like it's a conversational and behavior, and if ad is engaging with you, it creates more trust to that product or service.
I think it'd be funny if you walk around and it sees you and it says, "Hey, your green jacket is really ugly. Buy H&M." and then it can see what color jacket you're wearing.
That actually what we're doing right now. We're working on that option. So basically, let's say that we have Chanel, and Chanel wants to advertise, and every time if we're seeing that person is wearing Louis Vuitton or Dolce & Gabbana, right? He will show, hey, Dolce & Gabbana jacket is ugly. So here's the Chanel.
Nice. That would be great.
Another thing what we're also right now working and experimenting, for example, Pepsi is advertising with us, and he wants to show his ad every time one person is drinking Coca-Cola.
It could say, like, if somebody's have long hair, it could say, "Hey, you need a haircut." And if the guy doesn't have hair, it could be like, "Hey, buy a hat." I mean, it could be maybe I'm a little bit strange what I'm suggesting, but it's a lot of this is just camera stuff.
Yeah, it's a camera stuff just to bring your attention that you can look at ad, and after that we can get your data with your permission and improve your shopping experience. Because I'm too lazy and I'm too picky guy, and I don't like when advertisers targeting me showing by non-relevant ads. It's too ugly, and it distracts me. if I'm not interested in, let's say, in vacuum cleaners, why do you guys showing it? I
Yeah.
understand that Google, YouTube, Facebook is showing me because they're charging advertisers, right? And it's not relevant. And while we're coming saying that, hey, we understand your audience and we know that we can show them relevant ads. If we're showing relevant ads, so it increases your conversion rate and your shopping experience as a consumer. And as an advertisers, you can get that customer a cheaper price.
You might even like if you can see they're really looking at the ad for like more than 3, 4, 5 seconds, and maybe the Uber is like parked on the side of the road or something, right? You might even switch it over to like a QR code, and then boom, action, buy it directly.
We do it. So let's say that if you're looking at ad more than 10 seconds, it will show you, hey, do you want to buy? Here's a QR code. Or
And here's a
website.
discount, special
Yeah.
discount, only
Special-
available for the next 4 minutes.
Special discount only for you. Hurry up.
Yeah, buy now, or your MacBook M1 is going to be $100 more expensive in 5 minutes. That's maybe this is. I mean,
Exactly.
that would be like a. And if you find the Ubers in the street and you keep looking for them, it's a little bit like a challenge, because then you can grab the discount codes and stuff. They're just driving around.
So I can give you a use case which we recently were doing with coffee shop owner. So he opened up it's a Turkish coffee. He's selling Turkish coffee, and number one competitor in his area was Starbucks. And he was saying that, okay, how can I compete with Starbucks? And we said, okay, you can advertise with us, and every time when we see person with a Starbucks cup, we will show your ad and we'll offer him discount.
Nice.
And we increase 20% his sales within a month.
That's cool, and it should because it's allowed to do these advertising. I hope, I guess in the US, I'm not totally sure, but the thing where you say, "Hey, our coffee is better than your Starbucks."
It's allowed.
Take a picture of this QR code, and we give you a free first coffee, and as long as you throw out the Starbucks right now before the car drives away.
So basically, what we were doing, hey, it was showing that, are you serious? You're drinking Starbucks? Let's change your taste. Try something different. Turkish coffee.
Show somebody
right
getting
now.
sick. Show somebody getting sick with Starbucks coffee. Like, okay, maybe that's not the right time to show sick people.
No, but it's based on advertisers. So we took like framework approach for advertising that we can engage with people, and that's our winning position, that we can show viewers interactive ads.
Can you show more on the slides to explain a bit more?
So basically, this slide, it's our winning position. So how it works. So you, as a viewer, you looked at ad. We captured your gender, age, and also your phone information. And after that, we're pairing with third-party data aggregator and send it to the Segment. Segment is a customer data platform which is capable create Facebook and Google ads dynamically.
But all this stuff, is this a lot to do with just a vision, or you have all of this already built and it's working?
I already built it and it's working. It's
Really?
not smooth. Yeah, it's not smooth, but it works. So core concepts works.
Let's go to the next slide to see
some
more.
And next slide, it's just our business.
What does this
model.
mean? Because you're charging the advertiser
per
is that,
impression.
How many times? Is that 500 times more? No. 200 times more than what you pay the driver? No. That's a big difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference because advertisers, so we need to understand that advertisers right now, they compete with each other just to get advertising space in front of right audience. And we give them. And in exchange of that, we're asking, hey, you need to pay us, right? And for drivers, we're saying that, okay, if you're just driving, doing your daily jobs or Uber, and you're not taking our super ads, so we're paying you $0.10 per impression. And a day you're making, if you're driving in a highly density or downtown areas, so potentially around 500 people will see it.
500 people, what, per day or what?
500,000 people see a day.
A day.
Yeah, a
500,000
day.
people will see your Uber every day.
Yeah.
It's a big market. But one thing I don't quite understand here is usually I think Google or YouTube, I think that for example, they say it's around 50%. That Google takes a 50% commission and 50% goes to the YouTuber, for example. But couldn't you give the driver 50% of your income per impression?
So right now we're experimenting because this model is we're experimenting, and we told to drivers, so driver, if you want to make more money, let's say that extra $600. So then you need to drive in those areas which advertisers asked us. You need to just to circle it.
It's because right now you don't have enough advertisers to cover every corner of every city all the time. But if you did, you're talking about $500 per driver per month. But could you imagine giving them 1,000 or even more?
We're thinking that in the future, once we will have enough advertisers, drivers will be able to make 2,000 a month.
So they will double their income just with your technology.
Yeah, exactly. And that will incentivize them just to drive. Let's say that they want to drive in downtown area Chicago, only in downtown area Chicago, because advertisers told that, hey, I need 100 cars just to ride in downtown area. I don't need to go to any other suburbs or something like that. Just downtown area within 2 or 3 miles in radius, just to expose my brand or my offer.
Because it does look like a very big difference, 200 times different per impression. But I see that potentially this could have a huge potential if this becomes a huge thing. And so, are you right now looking for investors? Are you maybe even looking at partnering with Uber, Lyft, or maybe they want to implement this?
That's a great question, and we're raising pre-seed round and already raised 50,000, and another investors right now we're in negotiation, and they want to be in our board. So, and hopefully in next 2 or 3 weeks we will close our round.
Does that mean if you succeed with doing this, does that mean you could suddenly employ some employees to speed things up, get things smooth?
That's our goal, just to get investment, and because right now I'm developing it by myself, and it takes time. I can speed up process if I will have 2 or 3 extra developers, and we can speed up our process.
It's impressive. You get something that's working at this stage already, but I can imagine there's a lot of potential gradual levels of this technology being implemented more or less successfully in terms of really connecting with the right kind of tracking that might really work for certain advertisers. And I guess it's also a big question of marketing and getting to, I don't know how you will get all these advertisers and how you will get onto all those cars. And this is also a big job, right?
Yeah, it's a big job. And in our industry, in our experience also, so we saw that it's a direct calling. Or what I'm doing, I just knock the door and say, hey, I'm Emin. Here's my company Murmur, and we can help you with advertising. And it's cheaper than traditional billboard and more efficient.
Can you go in the next slide?
Yeah.
So here, what does it say?
So
2K.
currently we have paid pilot with 2 customers and already generating 2,000 in monthly recurring revenue by having only one display. That's our mock-up, so minimal valuable product, which is working right now. And already spoke with huge brands. So Uber Out of Home, Visa, Adidas, Nike, they got super excited what we're doing. And they're saying that, hey, we're ready to pay you huge checks, but we need more displays on the road because we want to do mass advertising. And basically they require us to have 200 displays. And for that reason, we're raising money just to purchase those displays and start working with big accounts.
What's the price of the display? Do you show this in the
So,
slide?
yeah, so I can show it. So one display, so it costs us to make $2,000. And return on,
45 days is paid for. That's a quick.
It's a quick because it's a digital, and in one display we can advertise up to 10 advertisers if they want.
Why one display, 10 advertisers? What is? Because you have to load all this stuff wirelessly onto the display. It's not connected to 4G all the time or 5G. Or?
No, it's connected. It's connected for 5G all the time. And
so what do you mean about the 10 advertisers?
So 10 advertisers, it's 10 contents. Let's say that in same display, we can show ads related to Walmart, to Uber, to DoorDash, to Jebel Osco, or to Nike, to Adidas. And it's based on geolocation as well. It works. So let's say that you're Nike and you're saying that I want to advertise on zip code 60660. Okay. And Walmart says that I want to advertise in different zip code. So based on location of our car, we can show personalized or different ads.
So there's like real-time auctions happening for every region in the city, where if there's more demand in the center, you might advertise a little bit around the center.
Yeah, so they were, and right now we're also gathering data just to see population density in the city. Let's say that in downtown area Chicago, currently we have 50,000 people, right? And we can tell to advertisers saying, hey, you want to advertise in front of 50,000 people? We have cars already over there. Just upload your content and pay for that.
Boom, click, boom, it's out.
Yeah.
And it starts happening. Can you show some other slides? The one, maybe the ones before or the ones after. So what is the
So financial projection. So we projecting that by the end of 2022, we will generate $30 million in annual recurring revenue.
And how much of that is going to the driver?
So
half. No? Okay.
Maybe even more.
It would be I would say fair and nice if the driver has a feeling that they're really like getting something like half of whatever's happening with these billboards.
So right now we're rolling new plan for drivers because for displays we're paying from our own pockets, but we're right now testing saying that, hey driver, we will finance that display and you will own it. So instead of paying 0.001, so we will double down it. So you will get 50% of what we're making.
Okay, but it would be nice if they could get 50% and not have to pay a dime. The only thing that they would need to show you is some kind of proof that they're actually really driving around all the time, right? So
and we can check it because we pairing our displays with mobile application, which drivers installing, and it's based on geolocation, right? If we see that your phone is far from display, so display shuts down and says, hey driver, so you're not driving, you're not in the car, what's going on?
Yeah, and if they don't drive around, they don't get paid, right? So so it will be incentivized automatically in the system. Maybe you can kind of say, hey, put this billboard on, and we'll pay your the car insurance, the car payments, or something like that. That covers a lot. I mean, when you're talking about doubling their revenue, it's a big part of. It's a hard work to work like 10 hours a day and only get
Believe
2,000
me,
a day.
is that believe me that Uber drivers, in order just to feed families, they're working around 80 hours a week. Sometimes they're working crazy amounts of hours, and they're doing, in order to make some money, you have to do multi-app. It means that you need to drive Uber, same time Lyft, same time do Instacart or DoorDash.
Maybe you have an advertiser that would be a health insurance company that would advertise for the healthcare product and insurance stuff and provide healthcare to the driver and pay their car insurance or something like that. And then I'm just thinking weird ideas.
Mhm.
Because I hear that one of the issues they have is that these gig economy workers, they're not having health insurance in the US. They have to get private. They have to buy one, the private insurance and stuff like that.
That's
It's just
true.
an idea.
That's true. And what we're doing, we're saying that, hey, you will, as a Murmur driver, you will get corporate perks. So it means that you will get discounted life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, because we're partnering with life insurance companies, and we're giving them leads, and they give to our drivers discounts.
Nice. And if you become a huge company, you might even provide some kind of a ride sharing functionality also in the back end. Because if you have so many billboards, eventually you might even have an app on all these cars that they can switch to. Like, many Uber drivers, they're both Uber and Lyft drivers, and they switch. So maybe they could drive on Murmur also.
So
Is that too
I
much?
don't know. I
Okay.
don't know, but looks like it's too much because it's not our focus,
Yeah.
be honest. So, and ride sharing, it's more, it has its own problems, which we don't want to deal with that. Because my previous startup, I was doing, as I said, Uber for moving. It was basically, we built a logistics company. And believe me, it was 3 years. I was working without any salary, just bootstrapping.
So what was the name of that one?
Easy move. So
Easy Move.
which you see on Murmur car. So they also advertise it.
So that's an app to get people to help you move your furniture.
So you need truck and help on your budget. So you go to Easy Move and find local truck owner who is able to help you load and deliver your stuff on your own budget.
There's a lot of considerations to make things work. And can you slide around a little bit more on your slides?
Yep. So, and currently we're fundraising 350,000, and that will allow us just to finance company for 12 months, get extra displays, and be able to generate $3.3 million in annual recurring revenue, because we have customers already in pipeline, and those big accounts, they want to advertise in more displays. As soon as we can deliver it, they will sign up and advertise with us.
So this is what we are doing here. You're totally in the startup world, and actually, I saw you commenting on a Jason Calacanis video, one of these This Week in Startups kind of videos, right?
Yep, he was talking to Zach.
And you were asking questions about because they answer questions to startup people. And did he answer your question?
No, it looks like he was super busy.
It's okay.
He just missed my
What was the question?
So my question was that, so how to prove to angel investors that my concept works and convince him to invest. Right now, we see that once I'm talking to investors, they see it as a huge data company, and it's obviously that who owns data, you know your audience better, and it's going to be a huge company. And most our angel investors are saying that, I mean, you even don't imagine how big can Murmur be. And
How big can it be?
it's can be multi-billion company.
Unicorn.
I would say Pegasus. So
Okay. What is a Pegasus? Is that 10 billion?
So Pegasus, it means that so you're not raising too much money and you can generate enough profit just to choose your destiny and see what make your roadmap and follow it.
It is as far as I don't remember exactly the history of Uber and Airbnb, but it was a little bit like, as far as I understand, that they were able to make a revenue that paid for all the expansion. So it's important to have revenue.
Yep, and from my standpoint, that each business should bring money, right? You need to generate money, and you should be profitable. And you, in my understanding, that companies should show profit, that you can generate money and you can wisely use it.
And the concept that you're talking about, all this pixel and the tracking and all that, you really, for sure, it's working. It can work.
Yeah,
And it's working
so
already.
it's working. We have already paid pilots, which proves that it works, right? And customers are satisfied. But be honest, I don't know if we will advertise on 200 displays or 300 displays. How that technology will work?
You need to
Will
go
we?
to the Nike, and you need to say, or somebody that likes the idea, and say, hey, help us buy those 200 displays, and you get like 3 months advertising included, or something like that. So
What I learned that never offer your service or product for free. That I learned, because if you're offering for free, then psychologically the customer thinks that, oh, probably it's not good enough that he's not charging.
no, but you're charging the price of building those 2,000 displays. 200.
Again, so I'm not sure that they will like. Or for me, I see that it's better just to buy it by ourselves and charge them extra 3x or 4x just for that, because we're not driving impressions, we're generating leads for them, and that's available. If you have you ever used Facebook or Google Ads, so you will see that they have different tabs saying that if it's just impression, so that ad is cheaper than conventional. So basically what we're doing with outdoor advertising, we drive conversion.
Yeah, it's some people who, as far as I understand, people who figure this out and who know how to use it. And I guess there's millions of companies around the world who actually are getting like really results from the online advertising budgets. Like they can measure how much more income it brings, and it's like the what do you call it? It's like I mean, it's actually working, right? The Google and the Facebook and all these, they're actually generating more value for the advertiser than what they're paying. But it's if you can show it, if you can just show that thing, like it becomes a no-brainer, right? And then when things are no-brainer, then it just has to happen. There's no way that it shouldn't happen. But you just have to be able to show that it's whatever dollar you put in on advertising here is bringing more dollar back. Some kind of way to show that.
Yep. So with digital advertising, it's easy to show. But once we're talking with outdoor is totally disconnected advertising, which actually works. And I hate digital advertising. Why? Because I spent 10,000 on Facebook and Google ads, and they drove me irrelevant traffic, and people were just clicking on my ads, and I was paying for that. And after that, I put a sticker on my car and was driving around. So we got one customer. I asked her, okay, how did you learn about Isimo? He says that, okay, I saw a sticker on the car. Next customer is the same thing. So I did interview around 20 customers. They say that we saw your company Isimo from sticker on the car. I said, okay, we put it more stickers. And I asked my friends to put stickers, and we doubled down customers. And we saw that, okay, outdoor advertising works. People see it. And the next 100 customers I did interview, and they say that, okay, I will really trust a company and if they will advertise on billboards. And our answer was, what question was, why you trusting? Because billboard advertising is very expensive and we know it. And if company can do it, it means that it's reliable and they have budget for doing it. And more people see it and trust. We create trust. The next day, I'm calling to billboard company saying that, hey, how much will it cost us? One billboard, basically in Chicago area, it costs you $15,000 a month, and it just, without any data, real time data attribution, reporting, you're just paying and hoping that people will see. Obviously, people see it, but will those people be relevant or not? My first prototype for Murmur was that I put it my TV on my car and was driving. I was driving in highly dense areas, like in community grocery stores. I was parking in front of Walmart, just showing my ads, and was capturing people. Did they look at my ad or not? Actually, I had my notebook and was recording, okay, noting it. How many people looked at, how many seconds. So that was crazy. And that kind of gave me idea, hey, we need to have cameras on those displays just to get that data. How many people saw, what's the gender, what's the average age, and what's the duration of that glance. So
you need to have 180 degree and see everybody on the whole side of the billboard.
It's I was using Eagle cameras, so
it's very wide, right?
Yeah, it's a wide, and it's capturing.
And it's able to see attention. Are you using some kind of open AI kind of platform thing, of one of these developments of something that recognizes faces looking?
Yeah, we're using it. Right now. We're using it, and that recognize person. So we can recognize. So if you're looking at our ad, we can recognize your gender, your average age, what you're wearing. If you're wearing T-shirt with logo of Nike, we can also identify it. And another beautiful thing, what we have is that the moment you see, so we kind of tag your phone, and it comes to our mesh network. And we can see that, okay, you appeared in this location. Next time you appeared in second location, third time in third location. And based on your locations, so we can identify what's your behavior. Let's say that every morning at 9 o'clock, you're visiting Starbucks. Then you're going to Javelosco. Then you're buying some Dunkin' Donuts. So we can know that, okay, this guy, this person, so he's more interested, his behavior is he loves drinking coffee, he loves Dunkin' Donuts. So we can advertise and approach him with better advertising, saying that, hey, don't drink Starbucks, drink something different, soft drink, something like that. So it's based on your behavior. And I truly believe that behavior marketing advertising, it's underestimated. And next 2 or 3 years, it will be demanded and will dominate market.
There's a lot of display advertising on bus stops, subway, on the side of stores. Are you gonna expand to all these different other places?
Yeah, we're gonna expand. Another next big thing that is semi trucks, because semi trucks they're driving all day, and those
In,
semi trucks that have already display, right? So they have advertising space. We
in
just
Las
need
Vegas, for many years, they've had those funny, weird cars driving around, big ad displays.
yeah.
But are other cities doing this kind of stuff? Do you see those in Chicago yet, or this is just like a new idea?
It's a new idea and no one does it. And I was talking to trucking companies, and they say that, of course, we want to monetize that space because trucking companies they losing a lot of money, and they need and make extra couple thousand. In that case, it's awesome for them, right? So one trucking company has, let's say, 60 trucks, and out of one truck, he can make monthly 1,000. So his revenue will be 60,000, right? It's a pure income.
And they deliver to all the supermarkets, a lot of
Yeah.
groceries every day. There's also all these kind of like mail delivery, post delivery kind of little trucks. Maybe they could have huge displays on them too.
So I'm not sure about it because it can be conflict of interest, or USPS or FedEx, but we definitely will try to tackle it. But I'm not sure how it will look like. But right now we're just building our technology, and the big picture for ourselves we have that okay, we will be a standard for future advertising, and we will tell to other billboard or advertising companies saying that if you want to provide to your customers such options, then you need to integrate with our platform and you need to satisfy hardware requirements.
I think it's possible that some people might think it's a little bit scary that there's all this tracking that happens. But I think if you, for example, Facebook and Google is providing a free service and people love that free service, so they don't mind being tracked, kind of. That's a little bit the trade-off that's happening. So I think if your technology somehow, for example, helps the drivers to make a better living, helps the drivers to get healthcare and car insurance and all that stuff, that's actually, people would say that's awesome, right? And so they wouldn't care about the potential challenge of this whole thing being tracking people and stuff. So if there's if all the people in the street see a value to this technology, that's maybe it's important also that it needs to be promoted in that way.
We think that we will do it, but most of all, so we need to understand that in states, so you have open database of each single person that I can type your name and last name and I can get whole information and whole story about you. And that's publicly available. And most people, they don't know. And of course, for ourselves, we don't want to tackle in that position. And in exchange, to consumers, we'll say that, okay, you can snap a photo and get discount offer. Do you want to get such offers in the future?
All right.
Excuse
cool. me. So it's a lot of talking. All right.
Yeah.
But so thanks a lot. Maybe, I don't know if you had more slides or not, but so what's next? How soon is this going to be everywhere? Are you, before the end of the year, do you think you'll have a 200, 2000?
Yeah, we're thinking that
sure?
we'll have 200 and already
in Chicago or in
Chicago,
other cities?
Chicago and New York. By the end of this year, we should be in Chicago, dominate Chicago market, and we'll be in New York.
And would you be like going hard towards the Silicon Valley and the San Francisco and the Los Angeles and these kinds of places, because that's also where potential partners or might be.
So be honest, so I'm traveling constantly to San Francisco just to get networking, but COVID era shows that we have Zoom online so we can talk to each other, and now that geographical stuff, it's not such important. We can always connect with each other.
Nice. All right. Okay,
Excuse me,
cool.
so it's
Okay,
too
no
much
problem.
talking.
It's just it's like I think 1 hour or something. Cool. So thanks a lot. Thanks for showing this startup. It'd be fun if this is gonna change the lives of. There's millions of Uber drivers out there, and it's funny. I think a little bit funny that Uber hasn't done more to make their lives better thus far. I mean, they've done amazing. I mean, it's an amazing thing that anybody can. If they have a decent enough car that needs to be 5 years old or something, they can get income by just driving around, just signing up. And having flexibility. But I still think when I drive around with Ubers, I always hear them, especially in the US more than other places. I think there's a lot of complaining by the driver and saying, hey, I can barely afford to, like they drive like crazy and they don't make enough. And there's so much potential for them to make more, I think.
I believe that for founders, when you're creating, you need to put your boots on the ground and start doing it. Because in order to understand your customers, you need to live like them and feel what they're feeling. And in order to understand my drivers, I was doing Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, just wanted to feel whole challenge. And how can I create a better environment and give them better life, that they will be thankful for that. And most of all, we need to create platform and such, meaning that they should be loyal to us and we need to gain their trust. And I really believe in community and being open mind, that what I'm doing, I'm calling to our drivers, asking, hey, how are you? How's your family's doing? Is there anything we can help you? Can you give us feedback? And most people, those drivers, they feel that they being heard, and we took their feedback and improved it.
So maybe it is a good idea that you could be this layer of making the thing whole for them. Like you could be the layer that makes them have enough income or be able to pay for their health insurance and the car insurance and the car payments. So it is so much potential if this really works out. So you could be like the best part of the job for them is to partner with you.
Yeah, of course. So we will try to do it and build that company which they can rely, and because we understand that they need to feed families and they have a lot of challenges. They're very hardworking, and we will try to create platform where they can rely on and make money.
Cool. So thanks a lot. Thanks for talking about your startup. And hopefully Jason Kalakanis is watching this so he can answer your question, or some of the other angels, right? You're looking for angels.
Yeah. We're
angel
looking
investors.
Exactly. So, and thank you for having me. It was my pleasure talking to you and sharing my story.
Cool. Thanks.